This is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
It's that time again. Hope you are ready for another edition of Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. As ready as our in-studio audience. We have a great audience this week. Also, happy Thanksgiving weekend. It's our Thanksgiving show here, and we're halfway through our first round. And we have a couple of teams that are going to make this a fantastic end of the first half of the first round. Let's say hello to the Harlem Huskies. Harlem has been here since day one of our Quiz Bowl. They made it to the Elite Eight in Season 6. That is their best showing. They are led by Captain Reese. Reese, introduce us to your starting lineup.
Hi, I'm Reese, and to my left is Caden, and to my right is Bryson, and to my far right is Jack.
Welcome, Harlem Huskies, facing off against the Galena Pirates, who always scare the audience when they do their cheer right before they head out here onto the stage. Pirates know a thing or two about being in the Elite Eight. 4 of their 6 seasons, they have made it to an Elite Eight game or better. That's pretty impressive. Also, no one travels farther to play our game than Galena does. Sam is their captain. Who'd you bring with you today, Sam?
I'm Sam. To my near left is Chase. To my near right is Hayes. And to my far right is Jovian. Nice.
Welcome, Galena Pirates. Just a little fun fact here. Galena in Season 3 had a pretty lopsided Round 1 victory over Harlem. We'll see if there's a different outcome this time around as we begin this week's Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Our first round is a buzz-in round, contestants. So grab your buzzers, get ready. 2 most important rules. Wait for me to call your name before you answer, and give that answer loudly and clearly. Here's our first question this week. Good luck. In what city, led by Richard J. Daley, did violence between police and protesters break out during the 1968 Democratic Caden?
L.A.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Galena. National Convention. Hayes.
Chicago.
That is right. Thought maybe Richard Daley would be an easy early clue. You've got those 10, Galena. You're first on the board this game. What lawman allied with his brothers Virgil and Morgan, along with Doc Holliday, to win an 1881 shootout at Tombstone, Arizona's OK Corral? Kurt Russell starred as him in the 1993 movie Tombstone. That's Wyatt Earp. New question, teams. In what state did former Governor John Hickenlooper defeat incumbent Cory Gardner in 2020 for a Senate seat? Reese.
Wisconsin.
Incorrect. Galena, you could take these 10 points. Go ahead, Hayes.
Texas.
Incorrect. Colorado. It's worth guessing, right, when there's no points being stolen from you. Let's get a new question, both teams. What character who takes a job as a window washer in a 1947 book is captured in Africa by the man with the yellow hat and is a curious monkey? Sam.
Curious George.
You got it. The book was Curious George Takes a Job, and those are 10 more for you. What man who created matrix mechanics with Pascual Jordan and Max Born found a limit on measuring position and momentum in his uncertainty principle? He names the principle. That's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Werner Karl Heisenberg. Franjo Tudjman fought for the independence of what former Yugoslav republic whose capital is Zagreb? Caden.
Croatia.
That is right. Tudjman is known as the father of Croatia. 10 points for Harlem. You're on the board this round. What painting in which a nymph is held by the flying wind god Zephyr is by Sandro Botticelli and shows a nude love goddess on a Sam?
Primavera.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Harlem. On a scallop shell.
Prima Donna?
Say that again, Bryson.
Prima Donna?
Incorrect. The Birth of Venus. That was the name of that painting. It's actually on display in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. Elementary particles correspond to vibration modes of what one-dimensional objects, which can be open or closed in a namesake theory of physics? Chase.
Quarks.
Incorrect. Harlem, you could tie the game up with this. Those are strings. as part of superstring theory. A 1980 sequel to Judy Blume's Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing centers on Peter Hatcher's younger brother, Farley, who has what food-based nickname? Caden.
Peanut.
Incorrect. Galena. Go ahead, Hayes.
Fudge.
That is right. The book was Super Fudge. Galena's got 10 more. What paired glands that produce aldosterone and cortisol are located just above the kidneys and produce a namesake fight or flight hormone? Chase.
Adrenaline glands.
We'll take that. Adrenal glands, adrenaline glands, those are your 10. The phrase water breaking refers to the rupturing during childbirth of what fluid-filled membranous sac? Bryson,
Placenta.
say that again, Bryson. Remember, wait
Placenta.
for me to say your name. No, that's incorrect. Galena, I'll finish for you. Membranous sac that surrounds a baby. Jovian.
Womb.
Incorrect. No points for either team. It's the amniotic sac. And that's how we end the round. We're out of time for that round. Galena's got a pretty decent lead for an early round anyway, 40-10. But we've got a lot of games to play left. In fact, our volleyball round is coming up right after this break. We'll see you then. Back after one round of our game so far this week. Galena's on top. They have 40 points. Harlem has 10. Like I said, there is lots of game to still be played, including our volleyball round in just a couple of seconds. But first, we want to recognize retired Judge Rosemary Collins, who is here today as a Quiz Bowl judge. We really appreciate you spending your valuable time with us, Judge Collins, and also just bigger picture, more importantly, for all the things you do for us and have done for us throughout the years. So thank you so much for being here. All right, our volleyball round, contestants, is a conferring round. So you can work as a team, but I have to hear from the captains. Because of the flip of the coin, our first volleyball question goes to Harlem. Reese, are you and the team ready?
Yes.
Here's your first volleyball question. What country, which is east of the Gulf of Mannar, is largely inhabited by the Sinhalese people and lies off the coast of southeast India? That's Sri Lanka.
Sure.
Galena, here's your first volleyball question. What Greek hero who married Medea led the Argonauts on their quest for the Golden Fleece?
Odysseus.
Odysseus.
Incorrect. Jason. That was Jason. He's the Greek hero. Back to Harlem. What Greek letter is often used to symbolize angular frequency and the SI unit of electrical resistance?
Theta.
Incorrect. It's omega. And that unit is the ohm that it represents. Back to Galena. What nation, which includes the Tivoli Gardens, was home to author Hans Christian Andersen and philosopher Soren Kierkegaard, who lived in Copenhagen?
It's Denmark.
Seems like you all knew that one really quickly. That is correct. Capital of Denmark is Copenhagen. Galena's first on the board this round. Back over to Harlem. The tilde-shaped Kopan building is in what most populous city in the Western Hemisphere?
New York City.
Incorrect. That is worth a guess, right? New York City has about 8.5 million people. Sao Paulo has about 12 million. Sao Paulo, Brazil was that answer. Back to Galena. What empire, which in 1829 ceded land to Russia in the Treaty of Adrianople, employed soldiers called janissaries and was succeeded in 1922 by Turkey?
Ottoman Empire.
Ottoman Empire is right. That's another one the team seemed to contribute on pretty well with that. We're back over to Harlem. The assassin Sub-Zero appears in what 2021 film streamed on HBO Max that is based on a video game series?
Ghost Runner.
Mortal Kombat. Back over to Galena. What scientist with a namesake tuning fork diagram lends his name to a law about the recessional velocity of galaxies and to a space telescope?
Hubble.
Hubble is right. Probably better known for the telescope, right? But that is the correct answer, and that is worth 10 points for you. Back over to Harlem. Sam Rayburn was the longest-serving holder of what federal office, which Newt Gingrich assumed after the 1994 midterm elections?
Speaker of the House.
You got it right before the buzzer. Nice work there. Those are your 10 points, Harlem, and we're back over to Galena. What grandmother of a boy named Drew investigates the disappearance of Katie Bailey and was played by Kate Winslet on an HBO series set in Easttown? The show is Mayor of Easttown. That was Mayor Sheehan. That is the grandmother we were looking for. And we're out of time for the round. So now it's a 50-point swing. Galena has 70. Harlem managed a question in that round and got up to 20. So we're halfway through the game, 70-20, but our NECA IBEW lightning round will change those scores very, very quickly. At least it has the potential to anyway. Before we get to that round, you get to play at home with a Bergstrom bonus question, and we'll be back with that answer.
Created in 1964 by Merv Griffin, Jeopardy! Recently cycled through a number of guest hosts following the death of which longtime presenter in November 2020.
Galena's on top right now in this week's Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. It's time for the bonus question first. Not for points, but for pizza or pasta from Tony's of Winnebago. If you're watching at home, you already saw this. Our contestants have not. So it's a buzz in. Hands on your buzzers. Let me know if you know the answer to this. Created in 1964 by Merv Griffin, Jeopardy! Recently cycled through a number of guest hosts following the death of which longtime Sam?
Trebek.
That is right. Alex Trebek passed away in November 2020. Inspiration. By the way, with just more than 8,200, Alex Trebek is the Guinness World Record holder for most game show episodes hosted by the same presenter. Pretty impressive. Keeping score, that's about 8,000 more than me. Congratulations, you get the pizza and pasta, and we'll come back with more points in the lightning round right after this. Our NECA IBEW lightning round is the fastest round in the game, and these scores could change quickly. There's lots of points on the line. In fact, if you run a category, contestants, it's worth 100. Galena has 70 right now. Harlem has 20. Because of the flip, Galena gets first pick this week. So your three categories, Sam, are colorful kids books, biblical art, and eponyms.
Colorful kids books. Colorful kids books, please.
You got it, especially because you said please. Name these young adult and children's books with colors in their titles. Those will be your answers. I'll describe the book, you give the title. 60 seconds to go through the 10. And then, Reese, if you and the team are paying attention, you'll have 30 seconds to get to whatever points they don't out of those 100. Sam, are you ready?
Yep.
Here's your first one. Dr. Seuss book with just 50 unique words.
Green eggs and ham.
Correct. Chronicles of Narnia book named for a place to sit.
Like brown couch, I guess. We gotta go fast, so.
Brown couch.
Incorrect. Scott Odell novel about a stranded Native American girl.
Pass.
First book in the His Dark Materials series.
Pass.
Pass.
Anna Sewell novel about a horse.
Oh, Black Stallion.
The Black Stallion.
Incorrect. Wilson Rawls novel featuring Old Dan and Little Ann.
Pass.
Brian Jacques novel introducing an abbey of mice.
Oh, this isn't this question.
Pass.
Book about a writing implement by Crockett Johnson. There's still three to get to that we didn't, or two more to get to. That started out super easy, right, with Dr. Seuss? Not so much afterwards. You got one of them right, so you added 10 to your score. There's a lot still on the board here for you, Reese, and I will read them as quickly as I can. You might be able to go through fast if you were watching, but you only have 30 seconds. You ready for your first one?
Yes.
Here it comes. Chronicles of Narnia book named for a place to sit.
Pass.
Scott Odell novel about a stranded Native American girl.
Pass.
First book of his Dark Materials series.
Pass.
Anna Sewell novel about a horse.
Pass.
Wilson Rawls novel featuring Old Dan and Little Ann.
Pass.
Brian Jacques novel introducing an abbey of mice.
The Rats of Nim.
Incorrect. Book about a writing implement by Crockett Johnson. And that's the time, too. 30 seconds is not a lot when there's 9 left on the board. There's a lot that we didn't answer. I will just read them as fast as I can so we can get through this. The Chronicles of Narnia book was The Silver Chair. Scott Odell novel about the stranded Native American girl, Island of the Blue Dolphins. The first book in his Dark Materials is The Golden Compass. Anna Sewell's novel about a horse, not Black Stallion, Black Beauty. Wilson Rawls' novel featuring Old Dan and Little Anne, Where the Red Fern Grows. The Brian Jacques novel introducing an abbey of mice, that's Redwall. The book about a writing implement by Crockett Johnson. That implement is a crayon. It's Harold and the Purple Crayon. Fantasy novel in which Mayor Barrow has electrokinetic powers as Red Queen. We didn't get to that, and the last one was The Witch of Blackbird Pond. We didn't even actually read that one. So, 1 question correct for Galena, but now, Reese, you have a chance where if you run one of these categories and make a big difference in this score. There's only 2 left, though. Biblical art or eponyms?
We're going to go with eponyms.
All right, give these terms derived from the names of actual historical people.
Okay.
That's the best I can describe it. So the terms come from the names of actual historical people. 60 seconds to go through it, and then same rules for you, Sam. 30 seconds to get to the points they don't. Are you ready for the first one, Reese?
Yes.
Here it is. Any food served between 2 bread slices.
Sandwich.
Correct. Protest involving refusal to purchase goods.
Boycott.
Correct. Raised bump writing system for the blind.
Braille.
Correct. Diagram whose circles show logical relations through overlaps.
Vin.
Correct. Knitted sweater with a buttoned front.
Cardigan.
Correct. Abdominal thrust intended to save a choking person's life.
Heimlich.
Correct. Vehicle that smooths an ice rink's surface.
Zamboni.
Correct. A fanciful, comically complex machine for completing a simple task.
Rube Goldberg.
Correct. Extremely severe and strict, especially for laws or punishment.
Pass.
Psychological inkblot test.
Warshak.
Correct. Extremely severe and strict, especially for laws or punishments. Time is up. 9 of them correct. You nearly ran the category. Nice work. Now you can breathe as easily as you can with the mask on. There's still 10 points on the board, Sam, so you could bump your score up to 90 if you get this one right. You'll have 30 seconds. Take all the time if you want, or answer right away. It's up to you. Ready? Here it is. Extremely severe and strict, especially for laws or punishments.
Hammurabi.
Incorrect. That is worth a guess. Draconian. That is named from Athenian lawmaker Draco. Think Malfoy, I guess, in that case. So we've got a lead change now by 30 points. Harlem is on top thanks to that performance in the lightning round. We'll be back with our final challenge where each of our questions is worth 20 points. We'll see you then. Oh man, this game is super close. We had a big lead change thanks to Harlem's performance in that lightning round. They are now on top with 110. Galena has 80, and in our final challenge, all these questions are worth 20 points, so we could see big changes in those scores in a very short period of time. Same rules as round 1, contestants. It is a buzz-in. You're on your own if you buzz in, especially when we're this close. The 2 most important rules to remember. Wait for me to call your name and say your answer loudly and clearly. Hands on your buzzers. Everyone take a deep breath. Good luck. And here is the first final challenge question. In economics, what quantity is the cost incurred by choosing a particular option in comparison to the benefits, Reese?
Opportunity cost.
Yeah, that is correct, of the best option not chosen. Harlem gets the first points of the round. What superhero who was created by William Moulton Marston wears a pair of bracelets of submission and is portrayed in films by Gal Gadot? Mason.
Wonder Woman.
That is right. You've got 20 more. What avian term is used when a golfer plays a hole in one-stroke chase?
Birdie.
That's right. 1 stroke under par, not to be confused with the better eagle, and you've got 20 now, Galena. What type of element whose first member is scandium, sits between the S and P blocks, and contains metals with partially filled d orbitals? Sam.
Metalloids?
Incorrect. Harlem, you could take these 20. Go ahead, Ben.
Transition metals?
You got it. Transition metals. That description was the periodic table, and you've got 20 more points. Eleanor Roosevelt arranged for what opera star to sing at the Lincoln Memorial in 1939 after segregated concert halls barred the star from appearing? Ella.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Incorrect. Harlem, you could have these 20. Reese.
Aretha Franklin.
Incorrect, but it is worth making a guess, right? Marian Anderson. What European city whose harbor was made off limits to cruise ships in 2021 is slowly sinking into a namesake lagoon and lies off northern Italy? Sam.
Venice?
That is correct, and those are your 20 points. What stabilizing phenomenon that occurs through movement of electrons can be represented by multiple Lewis structures for a compound? Well, that was a tough science question. Resonance was the phenomenon we needed. What novel, whose title character plays croquet with flamingos as mallets at the request of the Queen of Hearts, was written by Ella?
Alice in Wonderland.
That is correct. We've also taken Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Those are Galena's 20. What country owns the island of Tortuga, was once led by the dictator Papadoc de Valle, and shares Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic? Reese.
Haiti.
That is right, and you've got 20 more. 2 answers required here. The 1991 Paris Peace Agreements formally ended a war between which 2 Southeast Asian communist countries that began in 1978? Mason.
North and South Korea?
Incorrect. Galena, you could have these 20. Sam.
China and North Korea?
Incorrect. Cambodia, Vietnam, and that long buzzer means our game is over. That lightning round made the difference. Harlem, you are moving on with 190 points. Congratulations. You don't even have to have the mask off to see how big Reese is smiling. That was a lot of work in that lightning round that paid off. Nice job. Galena, you did a fantastic job as well, and it's hard to keep a game this close throughout the entire game, and you did that, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate you making the trip out here. It's time for our senior send-off. How many of the Galena Pirates are seniors? None of you, just the backups? So nobody on the stage right now. That means all 4 of you, I'm committing you right now to play next season. Is that a deal? All right, thumbs up from Ella. I appreciate that. Well, we'll see you next season. Harlem, we'll see you in the second round, right? Next week, Belvedere North takes on Stillman Valley. Thanks for watching.